Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say they still can't see. I say, it's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breasts, the grace of my style. I'm a woman, phenomenally.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us on another episode of Like Water for Chocolate. Of course, it's your girl Truth, and I got Lex Love with me this beautiful morning.
Hello.
And she got her Afro puffs vibing out right now. Absolutely love it.
Thanks.
You know I love your hair. I have to always comment on it.
I love your hair. I wish I was bold enough to go on a dreadlock path, but
I had to wash them this morning too. As you see the roughness, that means I have to actually commit to retwisting soon.
You got the Outcast shirt on. Love it.
Thank you. And I'm peeping your necklace. I keep staring at it, not just because it's sitting between your boobs, but it's actually a really nice stone. What kind of stone is
compliments.
it?
You know what? I'm not sure. This is one of the ones.
It looks like a sodalite stone.
Joanna gave it to me for my birthday.
It's really nice.
It's really
cool. That's really nice.
Yeah, it's dope.
But today, before we dive in, I never get to see my friend, so I just want to know, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing really good. Had some migraine issues though.
I know you were telling me about that.
It was really bad.
I think it's in the air, because I remember when I was going through it for like 3 weeks straight, and then my friend Nakia, same thing, waking up with migraines.
I wanted to chalk it up to sinus pressure, but I don't think that's what it was. I don't know where it came from. It felt like my skull hurt. It was that bad.
Especially when you get like that rubber band tight feeling, like it feels like something's squeezing your head.
I had to
Do you take Excedrin?
I take Excedrin migraine, but I didn't have any, so I just popped an IBU and kept it pushing. And I took a nap because I felt like I was going to vomit from the pain. And then
migraines are a beast.
I woke up and I was
You ever put like the ice pack on the back of your neck?
Sometimes, but I don't think it was a result of neck pain. Yeah, I don't know what
not even that, right? You guys can't see what I'm talking about, but the area I'm talking about is like right where it feels like your skull is coming to that end.
Sure.
Put the ice pack back there where the hairline is.
Oh, okay.
You put the very cold there, and something about that sudden cold, it helps alleviate some of that pain.
Medical tip, guys.
I learned that from Dr.
Don't say Oz.
No. Who you used to work for? Strickland.
Yeah.
At Dr. Strickland's office. He taught me that little tip. Him and Dr. Salsine, they told me that ice pack would help me with my migraines.
Cool.
And now I live by that tip.
Damn, I worked there for 4 years and I did not know this.
Yep, and vapor rub on the temples.
Vapor rub on the temples.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, dear.
That was our little health tip for everybody, you guys.
There you go.
We'll be taking PayPal. I'm just kidding. But today we have the privilege of having our boss man on the show.
Yay.
And so you all should know him. If you don't, shame on you. But I'll let him go ahead and tell you guys a little bit about him, and then we're going to interview him in real life, because we want you guys to really know why you have the pleasure of having Like Water for Chocolate even around.
There you go.
You're making me much more famous than what I actually am. Now I got to follow up.
We hype you up, you know it.
What's up, chocolatiers? I'm going to try not to die as much on y'all show.
That's okay.
Because, again, I'm sick.
Yeah. And he's still here with us.
He is.
Still working. How you doing, ladies?
We're good.
How are you, boss?
Good. Dying, but I'm good.
You
Working
look very
hard.
well and alive to me.
Yeah.
It's the
melanin's not fading or nothing.
lighting.
That's when I know
the
you're
melanin's
dying.
not fading.
Your melanin's still popping, so you're good.
I'm glad I can remain melanated. That's all I really go for day to day. But no, I'm good. Just working. Getting a lot of things in order for Beat.
Yeah.
Getting a lot of things in order for the Noize. We got a big month coming up next month.
Yes,
Our Black
we
Podcast,
do.
or this month rather.
This month.
All right, Black Podcast month. Looking forward to talking to some different Black creators and just picking their brain.
It's going to be good. I'm excited for it. I'm always excited for the Noize. You guys it's a great show, because I tell you, I'm not a podcast person, but I enjoy my own. And then I enjoy.
Well, I say you have two, so at this point, I assume.
I enjoy the Noize for sure.
You at least listen to two of them things.
Yeah, but I like the Noize.
Yeah.
You guys always keep me entertained, for sure.
Thank you.
So let's start from the beginning. Let's take it way back.
Back in the time.
We don't have to go to childhood, but how about high school? Let's talk about what kind of high school kid you were. What kind of student were you?
I was real to myself.
Really?
Well, at least when it came down to school, outside of school, I hung out with cats I really shouldn't have been hanging out with. Doing hood rat things with my friends.
Hood rat things.
my sophomore year, I got put into this program, and it's a dope program. AVID, I don't know if you guys familiar.
I've heard of AVID.
Advanced via Individual Determination.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got put in that program. That's actually where I met Skylar. And I got kicked out of that program because I was a shit student.
Oh, shit.
So, I know. It was a rough upbringing. It took a lot to get here.
Yeah.
Where was I going with that? Oh, yeah. So, I met my mentor, Dr. White, may she rest in peace. And she put me with a group of individuals who actually wanted to do something with their lives. They actually wanted to be premier students. They actually wanted to not be a statistic in a sense. Mm-hmm. So she threw me with Skylar and our boy Matt, Tevin, the whole little fam, Mark. And from there, that's where me giving a damn actually started to come into play. Because before, I didn't really care about much. I just wanted to finish school and then just do hood rat things with my friends. Going back to that.
So what did that program entail? Like, what was she doing with you guys?
Ultimately, it was like a advancement program. Uh-huh. You go in there, they should make sure all your homework is done. Once all that's done, they teach us different things to, I guess, make us better people, make us better students, make us better in life going forward. We had a lot of field trips. I think we went to the Holocaust Museum. We went to one of the Black History museums out in L.A. Yeah. Like, we had a lot of trips. Really, just a lot of good times, and just made us feel good about, being a better student and being a better person. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it's about now. I think more so it's really rooted in academia now.
I was going to say it's more academics now.
Yeah. But back then it was just about advancing you as a person.
That's awesome. It should have stayed that way.
Exactly.
And I was part of the first class, and I was the first to ever get kicked out, so I'm historic.
Yes, you are.
Well, there's something for Black History
Month. I need my plaque.
And then,
that is funny.
In light of that, where did it take you from there?
After that, with her just trying to make sure I go down the right path, I ended up going to Wilberforce University, the oldest private Black university,
Whoop, whoop.
HBCU, stand up. And when I went out there, I started off as a computer engineering major.
Nice.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
It was great until I met the teacher that taught all the classes for computer engineering.
Gosh.
His name was Dr. Nam. Couldn't understand shit he was saying.
Oh, no.
So that's when I realized this ain't for me, if I want to stay here at least. Then I got kicked out of Wilberforce.
What the kicked out?
I was a bad kid.
And I can't even see
I can't see that either.
You guys, I can't. I'm trying to visualize it, but I can't.
I tell people all the time that if they had met me from 2008 back, they none of y'all would have liked me. Just being completely honest with you. Yeah. It took getting out, learning how to be my own man, learning how to function on my own, how to operate on my own. That kind of created this person that's here today. Other than that, I just wanted to fight and fuck. Like, that's all I wanted to do.
2 F's.
Exactly, F and F.
F and F. Like it.
So after I got kicked out, I came back home, and I was like, man, fuck that. I ain't going back to school. School ain't for me anyway. I'm about to just do this, that, and the third. I think I was home like 3 or 4 days, and I'm like, nah, I want to go back out there. I want to make that happen again. So I ended up going to CSN, and I was going to pursue psychology. And again, it was cool. That was actually the first 4.0 I ever got in my life. But the book was like, y'all can't see, but it's about that thick. And that was the intro book.
Yeah.
About 6 inches. And that was the intro book. And I knew I wasn't going to commit to that. Still was a shitty student. So that's when I got the 4.0, I was able to go back out, and that's when I started looking into communications. And I saw communications was more than just TV. Mm-hmm. So I was radio that was involved. I always got told I had a radio voice, so I wanted to look into it a little more. Really, fell in love with what mass media communications was. Mm-hmm. And from there, got the degree, came home, got the job I'm at now, had an issue with a boss. That motivated me to go back to school and got my master's in multimedia. So it was going back to school is where I found my calling, in a sense, and to start Beat Network.
That's awesome. Educated, Black, and still was a badass back in the day.
What more do you want?
That's what's up.
So then you were a school kid then, if you think about it.
By the master's time, I was definitely a school kid, because that was like it hit me. I was like, why didn't I just try? Like, all I had to do was try, and then this shit came kind of easy.
Message.
Right.
But with undergrad, took me 5 years to get out of a 4-year program. Like it just wasn't for me.
It, though.
Just wasn't for me.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's what's up. I didn't know these things about you.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were that bad.
Oh, you said you want to dive deep. We can talk about it.
Man, I appreciate you being transparent. I swear, Los, Lord knows, I would have never thought that you were a hood rat.
Which is perfect.
That is good because you don't even look hood radish.
It was a bad time.
You don't look hood radish.
You don't look hood radish.
You don't, though.
I had the braids. I mean, you could tell they ain't been done in like 3-4 days.
Stop.
I had like the Kawhi Leonard's cracking. Like it was bad.
Oh, they didn't have lint in them, though, right?
Depends when you caught me.
Oh, damn it, Los.
Yep,
we wouldn't have been friends.
You pulled a do-rag right out the dryer, got a little something left on it.
Right, we wouldn't have been friends. I want to see the pics. Right, real life. I want to see the pics.
I'll find one at least.
Yeah, we wouldn't have been friends.
That's cool.
Nope, wouldn't have been sitting at this table.
This would have never happened. We wouldn't have been here.
I'd have been like, who is this dude? Nope.
Right?
Now, one of the things that I tell people all the time, and before she passed, she used to always have me go back to Mojave and talk about it. When she decided to put me with Skylar and the rest of our group and sent me off to college, like her exact words were, I have to get you out of Vegas because you're going to end up either dead or in jail. Mm-hmm. And at that time, I just thought I was just enjoying life, having fun, making sure I was good, making sure my brother was good. Mm-hmm. But I never realized what it could have become. And then one of the people that we were hanging out with around that time, he ended up getting murdered.
Wow.
He was like, y'all been here for quite some time. You were born and raised here. This was around the time where the North was really known as the Nutty North.
Yeah.
It's where every weekend somebody was getting killed.
Mm-hmm.
So he was one of the people to get killed over those weekends.
So you're thinking back to it and you're like, that easily could have been
could have been me, right. Just being in the wrong situation.
Sure.
Well, I'm glad it wasn't you.
Right.
Thank you.
Because we never would have had the pleasure of meeting you, and this show also wouldn't have been birthed. So other than, everybody knows Like Water for Chocolate, obviously, that's listening to our show. What other shows have you helped birth?
Well, of course, there's my show, The Noize, with my partner, Hollywood Kev. Shout out to Hollywood.
Shout out, Kev.
And Back to the Classics came second. There you go. I'm trying to remember the order.
Yep, that was
Back to
number
the Classics
2.
came second. That's with my brother. He actually wasn't supposed to have a podcast. He was supposed to just do movie reviews.
Right.
But then he came up like, yo, I want to have a podcast. I want to talk about movies and celebrating their 20th anniversary, yada, yada, yada. I applaud him for changing my mind on that one. Then we got you ladies, of course, Like Water for Chocolate.
First females.
Of course, the first ladies. I don't think, did we tell the story?
What, of how this came about?
Yeah.
I think we did. We touched on it at our last episode with Casey.
Yeah, where we talked about like women in business. But you can go ahead and bring it back around.
Let's do it.
I think Lex said it was a conversation. It wasn't. It was an argument. I said something on my show. and she like vehemently disagreed with it. And she came in, oh yeah, so you do the Noize. Oh, okay. Instantly just went in. I'm like, oh, this is our first conversation. All right. And we were just going back and forth. But of course it was all respectful.
Absolutely.
And the day she walked out, and I was like, I think I got a female podcast that we can get going now.
Yeah.
Hit her up like a week later. And then she grabbed you. And I'm like, oh, you're just as unfiltered as she is.
That's
It's going to be great.
I said, these are the conversations we already are having.
Right, exactly.
So let's just record them.
Yeah.
And the crazy part is I told Lex I had never listened to a podcast a day in my life until she asked me.
Listen to these.
She sent me a few.
And just listen to how it goes. And that's it.
I had to do the same thing with Kev.
Right.
I called him like right before I graduated. Hey, dude, I'm trying to do a podcast. He was like, what is that?
What is that?
I was like, all right, listen to this. It's like a radio with no music.
Exactly.
He was with it.
Yeah, but all she had to tell me is we're going to talk about shit. I'm like, all right, cool. Sounds good to me.
All right.
And the web continued to grow. That's when you brought KC into the fold.
Mrs. Jackson, if you're nasty.
Mrs. Jackson, if you're nasty. And that one I was a little easier, easily sold on. You was like, hey, we're talking about sex. Cool.
Done.
Let's do it.
Right.
Then, of course, reality TV came in. We knew Ebony prior to, well, I know Jay Alonzo knew Ebony prior to all of this. Uh-huh. And she brought her in as a writer. She gave some great articles on the website. And then she, obviously, if you listen to the show, is big on reality TV. And she approached me with the idea. We got it going. And here we are. We 5 shows in. We still got more to do.
Dope.
Awesome. Well, as far as with all of the shows, I just appreciate that. I feel like within this web you're creating, there's like something for everybody.
Definitely.
There's something for everybody because the Noize covers so much alone. Especially, I feel like with the Noize, I always call that's a good show for my husband to listen to. Exactly. I'm like, babe, you like the Noize. Like, I know you don't really like my shows you listen because you're my husband, but the Noize is really, to me,
we appreciate the listen, Mom. Yeah, it all counts.
Right. It all counts. It's the gentleman of the shows. I mean, you're not always gentlemen, but it's the gentleman of the show. So it's like that man of the house. That's what I see the Noize as. And so, yeah, it absolutely works. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's fun. People don't realize, when you actually have that platform to just say whatever you want, and it's all based on whether or not this person wants to listen to it.
Right.
You can't really get mad at something you chose to press play on. It's not like we're terrestrial radio. You don't get in your car, you just hear us, on your commute. You can turn this off. Exactly. Press stop, go to another podcast. You chose to sit here, so you chose to be upset.
Yep.
So we say whatever the fuck we want to.
That's right.
Unfiltered.
All the way.
For sure. So what do you see happening with all the shows?
With the shows, I know one of the initiatives that we're doing this year is just establishing everyone personally as their own brand.
Yeah. And
establishing their shows to almost beat, of course, is going to always be on the forefront, but establishing the shows to kind of operate on their own, mechanisms that they want to use. For example, with you guys, y'all are killing it. Like, I see the attention that you're getting. I see that you guys got the women's forum coming up with some other folks out here in Vegas. More of that. I want to see more of people not only being engaged in the shows, but to actually develop that community.
Absolutely.
And keep the conversation going, because when people are engaged, when people feel like they're actually a part of something, it becomes more than just a show. It's almost like they're a part of the conversation, other than just listening on a podcast. Like, okay, yeah, that's cool. But no, when they know you and they know, and they know they have a way of reaching you and they know you're going to respond, I want to see more of that.
Absolutely. Yeah, it definitely matters. I know that podcast is what's the main focus of Beat, and a lot of people don't know it yet, but in case you haven't went to Beat Network Online, there's a lot of great articles that are published. There's also merchandise.
Oh yeah.
But the website came together very nicely. I went on it just the other night to show Brandon. I'm like, when you're bored and you want something to read, go here. So I'm even plugging the husband, like, look, I see you on Facebook, but go ahead and go check out the stories we got on here. Yeah. But other than having, the website, the articles and the podcast, is there anything else that you're hoping for or planning to bring to Beat Network?
There are actually a lot of things in the works. I want to also shout out Over the Top LV and Twice Talk Oak specifically. We're going to be working on some things going forward. 2018, I want to commit fully to the visual aspect, because at this point the podcasts are already on wheels and in motion. Again, I just want to applaud you ladies and everyone that's doing the podcast, because y'all really have made this your own. You made it your baby. And to bring people in that share my vision, that I don't have to force my vision on anybody, to just naturally have it, like, that means the world to me. But I want to focus more on the visual aspect going forward. I know we have a bunch of different shows that we're going to be working on this year, getting launched this year at that. Really, it's just finding the time to do it all.
Right.
Having
time,
still being on the slave shift is definitely slowing me down.
It's only temporary.
That's the motivation. That's what we're working towards.
Temporary. Team no sleep.
That's how I keep looking at it. I'm definitely ain't getting no sleep. But,
I know it. Jamaican queen over here. Got it going.
But no, we got a lot of things coming. One of the things that I need to hurry up and get done is the new website, because we're going to start bringing a lot more traffic that way. Hopefully I'll get that done soon. And then I know I'm working on a hip-hop centric show called Top 5. For anybody that's really big on YouTube, that likes to watch the countdown videos, the infotainment videos, is going to be generally around that kind of setup, and just all specifics dealing with hip-hop culture.
Is this one of your visuals, like one of your live?
It's going to be one of the visuals.
Okay,
cool. Nice.
That's awesome. Is that only centered around hip-hop?
It'll only be hip-hop, but all facets of hip-hop culture, graffiti, DJing, fashion, rap.
Nice.
Love it.
And it's going to be, just top 5. Then, of course, these won't be considered top 5 amongst everybody, but my top 5 picks that I could back up with the proper research to why they're the top 5. Okay. So it's going to be really informative and kind of bring this hip hop culture kind of back to where it began, because I know we're for sure losing it.
We are.
Ooh,
and speaking of that, who do you like at the moment? Because I have to bring in some music real quick.
We have to.
Of course, no problem. Crit won for me last year.
I know you talked about it on that
album
me last year.
Fire.
Loved it.
My gosh.
Very, very close second, of course, is Kendrick.
Yes.
Cole, I fuck with Cole heavy, but he kind of disappointed me last year.
I feel the same way.
It was bad. Freddie Gibbs, now that he's back, oh man, it's almost like he never left. He's just dropping dimes everywhere he go. Who else do I listen to right now? I gotta think who pops up on my list.
Who's in your circulation?
Right. I used to like Drake. I used to. But now he's just way too pop. He does entirely too much.
He's doing too much. You know, he's doing what like Nicki Minaj did for me.
Yeah, basically. But you know, at least Nicki came into the game like that.
Yeah.
Drake, you gave us bars. Like you were a rapper that sang, and now you're just.
Well, they said he's like biting off the Migos now.
He's biting off everybody. You could find a different flow in Drake. No matter what song you bring up, you can find somebody's style, somebody's talent.
This is true.
Inside Drake's music.
That's just awful. I stopped listening to him quite a while ago.
I'm sure you did.
I left it alone.
You lost me after Take Care.
Wash my hands.
And I had to go back to Take Care to even enjoy Take Care because I didn't like Take Care at first.
Oh, is that right?
No, I didn't. I had to go back to it just to appreciate it. And I think that's because all the shit music I've been getting since then from him.
And we're talking about disappointments. I just have to throw this out there. One major disappointment I have right now is in Wale. He absolutely just broke my heart with this last album that I listened to. I was like, what in the fuck is this about? Like, what happened? Like, wait, who is this? Is not you.
He's losing the vision
being punked
that
right
he
now.
Started off with.
Yeah, he's not being, I hate when artists stop being true to who they are. I understand you want to be more mainstream, but now you're not even mainstream. You're no stream. You ain't got no damn streams. Ain't stream. You just you just sitting in this little pond.
Exactly.
And it's just that's it. That's all it is. And so yes, that was my disappointment.
But you know what though, it wasn't much you could really expect out of. I mean, Fashion Week was a decent song, but it wasn't really his. You know, when you heard Baltimore Love Song, you knew that album was finna give you something crazy.
Yeah.
Shit, even the first record he did with Gaga.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't, you know, I was like, this is weird having Lady Gaga on it, but Attention Deficit was a dope ass album.
It worked, absolutely. Yeah. Ambition was good.
Ambition was great.
Like,
you know?
that is my favorite.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I still listen to that to
this
day.
Because you can't really go to anything else
how
right
can
now.
you give me something like that?
One thing I've noticed with artists,
come on.
One thing I've noticed is they lose the hunger. Once you no longer have anything to, you know, strive for, once you've gotten it all, they just get lazy with the lyrics. Yeah, exactly.
I have my established fans, and I can just do whatever.
I give them
now.
whatever the fuck. I mean, shit. I mean, he's in my top 5. He may end up dropping out because of his consistency, but Eminem's a prime example. Revival was trash.
Terrible.
Revival was absolute trash.
I didn't even give it an ear, you guys.
Don't. You're missing nothing.
You didn't miss nothing. Yeah.
Matter of fact, the remix that he put out, the one that they think that he's dissing Joe Budden. I can't remember what the hell it's called.
Oh.
But that, I was like, where was this on the 24 records? Where was this at? So it's just like, I think once you lose that hunger, you know you have that fan base that you're guaranteed to sell 500K in the first week or first day, whatever the case is. You lose that hunger. 50 Cent, he's another one. He's kind of getting back to that place because now he wants to reestablish himself in hip-hop, so he has a goal. But before then, I mean, I didn't really like AO Technology. I don't know how y'all felt about it. But
I ain't listened to 50 since he was beefing with Ja Rule. So, damn. I mean.
Well, that's been I
let it go. I kind of let it go after that. So, yeah. When it comes to hip-hop, it really has to grab me. Because y'all know I'm neo-soul to the core. I love neo-soul, and I like just different music. So, hip-hop has to be real hip-hop to get my attention. Yeah. I do like ratchetry from time to time. Migos definitely catches me. I'm guilty. Cardi
Migos
B,
may be the
guilty.
only like new people that I like truly fuck with.
If I was a clubber, like if I club now how I used to back then, I would wait for Migos to come on.
It'd just be the Migos record.
You know, when you hit the dance floor, when that song come on, it'd be one of their songs.
They're good interviewers too. Like they've been,
depends who you catch them with.
I guess you're right about that, but like they have that something. Maybe it's taking time. But
it's taking time. They create a mystique about themselves when they get in the interview because you don't know what you're going to get from it. But then you'll see them on another interview with somebody they're a little more comfortable with, and they kind of let their natural self show. Except Takeoff. Takeoff ad-libs everything. Like I haven't heard him answer a question straight since he's been in the industry. So it's like, you know. other than that, and I can't forget Jay. Jay is like, he's my guy.
So how do you feel about the Grammys? And he won none.
He had a lot of competition against him. I don't think he should have walked away empty-handed, though.
Do you think his album was too
raw,
like for the culture, and not enough for the Grammy? So, which is why he walked away with none.
I would say that if Damn didn't win anything. If Kendrick walked away empty-handed, I'd have been like, it was too much for the culture.
Academics tried to say that Kendrick won because he has more of, like, they're giving us that because they know Kendrick did so great.
Well,
not necessarily that they're listening to the music, but that they recognize how big of a star he is.
If that was the case, and Academics, I don't know, man. He's always up and down.
Do yourself a favor and don't listen to Everyday Struggle anymore.
Yeah, that shit is
struggling for sure.
The new Everyday Struggle is a struggle.
Star
exactly.
is ridiculous.
He's nowhere near the star and buckwild that he used to be.
No.
But with that, if that was the case, if that was what was going to give you one, then it should have went to Jay. Jay should have got both that he was up for. But
yes and no with that, because right now Kendrick's been working with a lot of. Okay, I don't have to be politically correct. This is our show.
Right, exactly.
He's been working with a lot more white people.
Okay.
And he has been reaching out to like the rock bands, and he's been reaching out to a couple pop artists.
The point
and so they're like, well, we can celebrate him because now he's going to help celebrate us. So we can give him this because he's reaching out to us. And I think even though Jay didn't win, like he won already in life.
Right. So he doesn't need much.
I mean, was he I didn't watch the Grammys. I don't know. It's not the same anymore.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Was he present?
He was there.
Yeah, he accepted a Lifetime
Achievement having their presence, that's a gift in itself. So, because normally they don't show up to shit.
That's true.
So, Jay, I'm sure he didn't leave hurt.
Probably not.
I'm sure he was just like, celebrating Kendrick and all right, cool.
It's
like,
just
I'm good.
Certain projects you feel as if deserve that kind of recognition. Like the fact that we got 444 and we got the Lemonade album, and neither of those walked away with anything. Like,
I know.
This is the most this gets back to the roots of hip hop and R&B that no one's doing anymore.
But you know what did win a Grammy?
What?
For Jay? Hard Knock Life.
Hard Knock, of course. And Big Pimpin'. And Big Pimpin'.
But you see what he was.
But shit, Denzel had to be a dirty cop and a slave to get his 2 Oscars. Exactly. So I mean, that tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, those albums, if the Grammys would have awarded them, they'd have been saying, we agree with everything that you're talking about right now. They weren't ready to do that.
Exactly right.
They didn't want to do that. There's no way in hell they're going to do that.
It was more for the culture than.
And people can say whatever they want about Jay and Beyonce and how they are pretending to be this and how they don't support this. If you truly spend as much time researching the quote unquote Illuminati, if you take just a half of that time and you just research them as people and what they actually do for our people, you'll understand why they didn't win Grammys.
That's right.
Because they do a lot more. They don't have to talk about what they do, which is another thing I appreciate about them.
Yeah.
They just do it.
Right.
They don't care what anybody else has to say about what they do for their people. They just do it. And so I appreciate them, but I also understand why they did not get a Grammy for these albums.
Right.
Same.
Now, if it would have been like another like pop type album that Beyonce did, absolutely she'd have got a Grammy. Because she's Beyonce. If he'd have did another album like Big Pimpin' and Hard Knock, he'd have got another Grammy. If he'd have came out talking about bitches this and hoes this and I'm getting money this way and I'm flipping it that way and I'm selling dope this way, he'd have got a Grammy.
I mean, but it's just like the conversation we just had with me. Once you get to a certain level, and this is why Jay will always be in my top, once you get to a certain level, you can either keep talking about the same thing that we all know you're not doing unless we somehow find out Jay is still moving bricks. But
I don't think he got to move him no more.
Probably not. If he don't, he got somebody that can move it for him and definitely be his fall guy.
True.
But and we bringing in the feds too much to this. Like, we gotta look into that.
We gotta watch.
But
my bad, Jay.
Once you get to that place, and you're able, as an artist, you're able to elevate and change your entire style. Because he tried to do that with Blueprint 3. He was trying to be too much old Jay. Old Jay with what the new sound was. And that's why Blueprint 3 was trash.
Yes.
Magna Carta, he tried to force it down your throat. I am grown. Everyone needs to be grown. And that's why that one didn't do well.
Absolutely.
444 was the perfect balance of grown, but I'm still on my bullshit.
Exactly right.
Perfect.
And for that reason alone,
and I'm gonna educate my people,
I'm trying to get my people to move forward. Quit worrying about bullshit. But that's why it was crazy when all that drama happened with it. It was like, y'all mad because he's trying to educate you? Y'all mad because he's trying to put y'all on game?
He
like,
said he was giving
why
are
we upset?
All the knowledge for $9.99
for a title subscription. That's it.
That's it.
Right.
Regardless of the fact, the man is fucking brilliant.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Between him and Diddy, those two men are absolutely brilliant.
Diddy needs a podcast.
And he absolutely does. Because, like, watching him and listening to him just on Instagram alone, he is something special. The man's brilliant. I still think he has a lot of sneaky ways, and I'm not even going to touch on that, but I think he had a lot to do with a lot of things.
I think it's just his face.
But he does have a very sneaky face. Weird-ass face. He does, like a little lizard. I don't know. I don't like his face.
Sorry.
But
we digress.
But when it comes to business, the way that they move, the moves that they make, absolutely brilliant. And so it just really bothers me when I see, and it's mostly black men, talk about how much they don't like them and they don't respect them and they're not real and they're not doing it for the culture and they're not doing it for our people but the thing is they are because the moves that they make, they're showing you guys, I'm not just music, I'm gonna go buy this team over here.
Those people that say
I'm investing stock, like they're trying,
are unable to open their minds to the fact that they can reach that level.
Exactly.
Which is exactly why
it's all attainable.
Like that. It's all attainable, but they only think that a white person can get there or whatever the case may be. So they're trying to say like, oh, this person is selling out or whatever the case may be because they don't think it's attainable.
The biggest issue, and I've been saying a little more on my show, but of course, as a black man, I can't say what's going on with anything outside of a black man.
Sure.
But as black people in general, you'll find more dissension than you'll find unity. Even though we preach that we're always together, you'll find
we're not.
At all. So when you get to the point where you see somebody who's trying to do something good for black people, trying to bring black people together, you're going to have black men saying, I mean, but you got money, you got this, that, and the third. You expect us to do all of that.
Why don't you do that?
Exactly. You got black women say, well, you cheated on Beyonce, and anyway, niggas ain't trying to. It's so much dissension that no one's taking that time to be like, okay, how can us, with our $15, $16, $17 an hour, move forward?
Absolutely.
How can we do that as a community? If you look at every other community, Hispanics, Jewish, fucking Asians, all of that shit stays in-house.
We touched on that.
All of that shit stays in-house. We are the only community. And anybody that want to debate me. Maybe I sound like Koreans. But we're like the only community that do not fuck with each other.
Yeah. At
all. We don't support our own local businesses. And then when we do, we don't fuck with each other so much that we give them bullshit.
Right.
Like it just doesn't make sense, honestly.
And it's absolutely sad, which is another reason why I appreciate what you're doing. Absolutely. Because with Beat, everyone who is a part of Beat, we are all black. Some Afro-Latina, some I'm mixed up with all kind of shit, but we all have that dominant trait of black. And when we come together, we can definitely come together. You allow us to bounce ideas off of you. We bounce them back and forth. And when you move up, we all move up. If I get a connect, we all got that connect. Right. Exactly. It's like you were blessed enough to find a core group, because this is just the beginning. So you found a core group of people that are willing to share their success.
Right.
That's the problem. There's a lot of people that will make it, even if it's just to like a let's just say D status. That means enough people know you. Yeah. You got some followers. You got, a couple.
You're invited to the party.
C-list, exactly. Right. Celebrities that are rocking with you. And then you forget your core.
Right.
Yes.
You absolutely forget the people that bought your first T-shirt for $35 or who bought your mixtape when you were selling them for $5 donations or $10 donations or whatever it is. Or like with us, our faithful listeners that know every single show we have.
That's right.
We're not going to forget you guys.
Of course.
So that moment we walk the red carpet, guess who we going to shout out?
Oh, definitely.
You guys. Guess who going to start getting the free merchandise? You guys. It doesn't happen enough in our community because we get this big head when we get a little money or we get on a little bit and we feel like I don't know, if we feel like we have to protect our name so much because we can't bring grandmama them and auntie them because they too hood. Guess what? I'm transparent. Everybody know my family's crazy as fuck.
Right.
And they all coming. Yeah. They all coming. When I go through the red carpet for the first time, guess who's going to be with me? My crazy ass family. Y'all better have enough seats for everybody because I'm pulling everybody with me.
That's right.
But we don't like to do that. And don't let a homeboy, come to you and be like, even if it's just a listen. So let's say you got signed on and it's like, I just want you to listen to my music. Give me some critique. We automatically think that they may want something. They may really just want your
critique.
Advice.
Exactly.
Because they want to be able to possibly be where you are. Mm-hmm. However, us as Black people also wait for the handouts.
Oh yeah,
we got to stop doing that.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? It's like it's a double-sided coin. We wait for the handouts, but on the flip side, we ask for the bare minimum.
Yep.
Like with what we do here at Beat, we were like, even if you don't listen to the show, just hit share, hit like.
Yeah.
Help us with the analytics of the actual show itself.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to listen, someone else is going to read that description and be like, I want to listen to this. Someone else is going to listen to the commercial. I want to listen to this.
Yeah. Right.
That's all it really takes. Sure. A lot of people don't know. BEAT is an acronym. Black Entrepreneurs Always Thriving. Mm-hmm. And another thing people don't know, the motivation to start this kind of came from Charlamagne the God.
Yeah.
And with that, I was getting told no. I guess this is the post-collegiate story. I was getting told no a lot. All the jobs I was applying for, saying I didn't have enough experience. But in school, we're working with nonprofits. We're working with actual companies that have clout, that have name behind them. That if you Google these people, it's like, oh, he has worked with some big people. But because it was in school, all of a sudden, I don't have the experience.
Sure.
So I'm like, well, I'm tired of trying to meet their requirements of what my experience should be. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to create my own lane since they won't open up one for me. And I never wanted to sugarcoat, saturate, do whatever to the person that I was just to, establish myself in this industry. And around that time, Charlamagne was taking off.
Yeah.
Like taking the fuck off.
Yeah.
And he can't even spell filter, I'm sure. So, I look at all that and I'm like,
you're like, why not?
Damn it.
Like,
if he can do that, I know I can do that.
Yeah.
And just being able to be raw and be honest with listeners and honest with people that we know, it's, first of all, it's freeing. It's almost like therapy every time we get it on these mics.
Absolutely.
But, outside of that, to put yourself out there and then get the responses that we get.
Yeah.
When we first started, we was doing like 30 listens an episode or something like that. Now, granted, we ain't in the greatest place now, but the fact that, with all the shows, we each average fucking 180 to 250 listens an episode, that's great for people that aren't checking for us.
Exactly.
You know what
Absolutely.
I mean?
Yeah.
So knowing that we're moving forward and we're actually creating that fan base, we're creating that move, this is where the Always Thriving comes into play. Mm-hmm. And just continue to just push each other and continue to move forward.
When you love something so much, that's when you succeed.
Of course.
When you are doing something that is fulfilling to your life. So if you're trying to pretend to do this, you know what I mean? Because you think, okay, everybody has a podcast, let me do one.
Right.
But that's not what you're supposed to be doing.
Oh, and there are a bunch of podcasts popping up out of nowhere.
I see it all day.
At least people that we personally know.
That's
like,
right.
Okay.
Yes, that's right. And that's why I say this. If you're just doing it to do it because everybody else is doing it, it's going to fail.
Oh, yeah.
Everything that drives you should be motivated by your passion.
Right.
And that's when we're going to succeed. And that's why this is going to succeed.
I'm excited.
So I just have to say that podcast wasn't my passion. I didn't know shit about podcasts.
But see,
however, it became my passion. But I didn't like people. So with what Lex is trying to say is don't just like listen to, let's just say, our podcast or the Noize and be like, oh, I can do that.
Right.
Or I'm going to do that because they got this going and you ain't got shit to talk about.
But that's my point.
Yeah, you got to have something to talk about.
It can be a driving force to where you're trying to get to.
Absolutely.
You like to talk and you like to share opinions and you like to listen to opinions and you like to, create this
that's where I was
space.
going. Like, if that's your gift, then it'll absolutely
then that's
work.
going to work. This is just your platform to do it on.
Absolutely.
So that's
one of the annoying questions that I get all the time is, so how are you making money from it? What's the way that you can make bread from
annoying.
it?
Yeah.
And of course, we're doing the stuff now to make sure that we're in a position to make money. But people don't understand, without that share, without that you're making it harder for us to make money.
Absolutely.
So, but outside of that, when you go into it, and money's going to always be the motivation no matter what we're doing in life. But when you go into it with the sole purpose of making money outside of just building a brand, you're going to fail. Because every dollar that you don't make is a failure. Because that's your whole reason for even being in it.
Exactly. I can't remember who said it, but they said something like that. And they said, if money is what the motivation is, then it's not going to work.
Right.
Because if you do something that you love, the money's coming in.
It's going to come.
It's going to come.
You just got to be, you really ain't got to be the best at it. You just got to be good at it.
Right.
And you got to trust your process
Got
and
to.
your path.
Yeah.
You can't try to, I think you just posted something like that not too long ago, Lex. You can't worry about what your neighbors are doing.
Right.
No.
Or how fast their careers are taking off. Or because that's not your path. So what you're building could be something, I mean, larger houses take a little bit more time to build.
I made that
trust
point
it.
because I get it a lot when they see what everyone is doing and they ask me, so what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I'm doing my show. You know what I mean? What more do you
your
want
path.
from me?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this is my life. The way that it's working is the way it's working for me. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to keep up with anybody. I'm just doing me. So, I mean, stay on course. I think one of the girls works. From your Boss Babes, I think one of the girls said something like that. Like, I feel like less than because I see everybody else doing what
she
they're
did.
doing.
And we had to kind of give her a little pep talk to let her know, like, you got to trust your own journey.
And be still. You'll be good.
Yep. And your journey with Beat, you're not building just a little hut or a little apartment, or what you're putting together is like an empire. Exactly. Empires take time. Do you think that Bad Boy was birthed overnight? Do you think Diddy was making money right away? No. Even though he's something special. But Suge Knight, Death Row had its moment. It didn't start as big as it did. Mm-hmm. He started with just the whole mixtape situation, just the small beginnings, the humble beginnings. It became an empire at one point in time. And so empires take time. And with you having multiple shows on one platform, that's not just the house. Most people are just focusing on themselves.
Right.
You are focusing on your company. Mm-hmm. Then you also have your show. Mm-hmm. And then you also have these other shows.
Right.
And so to say this to you, I can't wait to see your empire completed.
Yes.
But to anybody asking my boss man how he making his money, just know that he's building an empire. And if you want to help the money come in faster and you truly want to support, start liking and sharing and commenting and getting your friends to listen to podcasts you think that they'd be interested in. That was my only gangbang session, y'all.
Oh, good. You know, she was actually y'all didn't see it, but she was twisting her fingers in the whole nine. I didn't know we had gang signs at Beat, but now I know. Now we're a part of it. No, but even when I started Beat, and anybody that knows me will tell you, I've never been the let me get me over type. Now, that has worked to a fault a lot in my life. Don't get me wrong. But I've never been the let me get me over, fuck everybody else. Because it initially started with, I'm going to do a podcast. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to do a podcast. Then I'm going to have the countdown show. Then we're going to have this, that, and the third. Then I was like, why do it on my own when I have so many talented creatives around me? Mm-hmm. And we all can win together. Yeah. And then it just, as the pieces came in, I'm just like, let's just keep building. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The more that we build, the better we're going to be.
You did the field of dreams.
Exactly. Yeah. You build and they will come.
Yeah, absolutely. That's dope.
And it works, you guys. I just want to let you know that selfish winning, it may work for a moment, right? But it fades away because everything that I'm doing right now, I truly believe that my success as a person is also based on the success of those around me.
Exactly.
Right. My travel business, I can book travel, but with me now having these agents under me, I need to make sure they're successful too, because that's where my residual coins come in. So I want you guys to be successful too. But also I'm helping you be a better person because I see how just starting with this travel business made me discover who the hell I am. So maybe I can help you discover who the hell you are.
Right.
With the women empowerment group that is going on. It's helping a lot of women sit back and be like, you know what? I am more than just, a housekeeper or a customer service rep or whatever. What do I really want? Yeah, even the moms. Mm-hmm. The one girl that wrote about, how she didn't have time to do anything because it was kids and she was at home all day. She didn't even get out her pajamas some days. And then she just took a chance on something and it worked. And so with you taking a chance on us, it's going to work because now we know that you took a chance on us. Now we want you to be successful.
Right.
So that means we got to be successful. So that means everybody wins.
I remember I was telling someone this story. I can't remember who it was, but I remember at one point, I think it's still the case maybe, but when you were number one in Vegas with Bedroom Candy.
Mm-hmm. And that wasn't just, I just got to throw this in there just for the silent haters I had. It wasn't just Las Vegas. The other agents were in North Carolina, South Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia, and California. So I'm just putting that out there.
Just throwing that out there.
And that was my first month. Okay,
but
go ahead.
I looked at that and I just remember saying to the person, I'm like, yeah, she's moving, she's working. But the fact that she has a platform to speak so, openly and candidly about sex, you don't think a lot of those people that's in that room listens to that show? You don't think a lot of people in the room isn't a part of that group? Like, so even if it's not coming in, even though if the check doesn't say beat, doesn't mean we're stopping anybody from getting a check from what they're doing. So people just kind of look at it because if you're not what Complex is, if you're not what All Def Digital is, then you're a failure. But no one ever looks at the come up. And I said it on my show before. I don't want to hear shit from any of my, quote, friends. Oh, I remember when Los was doing I had his back. So no, you didn't.
You didn't.
You didn't. You really didn't.
That moment's coming. Be ready for it.
People keep forgetting that analytics exists. I can go on Facebook right now like, oh, wait. No, you didn't share it. Nope. You went. Nope. That wasn't you either. Nope. What support were you talking about?
Right.
Where was you coming from?
And it's sad because between the three of us sitting at this table right now, we have, I want to say, well over 4,000, 5,000 Facebook friends.
Probably. And
our show it gets shared maybe 6 times.
Crazy. And
I'm just not understanding why it's so hard.
But
my whole feed down Facebook is shares. Twitter shares.
Yeah, why is it so hard? Like, you guys will share some bullshit, some mess, some fighting, some twerking, some whatever, but you won't share your own.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. Is it because it's not you?
That's right. That's
one thing that used to piss me off, and now I just kind of just get past it. One thing that used to piss me off is that when the articles were coming in like clockwork, I would see people that I know like the page or know that sees my post, then share CNN or share Complex or something like that. I'm like, I know you saw me post this. You could have checked it and fact checked it yourself, and then just reshared it just for the sense of visibility. But outside of that, I don't really like it. It really did used to get to me. But until we got on iHeart, and I had to really look into how you qualify and get picked up for iHeart. You have to have a certain amount of listens to even get picked up. So you get picked up, and then they just take this platform and they, put your show in front of these millions of people to where they go in there and they decide what they want to listen to. Since we've been on iHeart, our numbers have been amazing. Yeah. For people who don't get the support that we're looking for, we're doing great. And this is where the money starts to factor in. This is where we can translate those listens to sponsorships, to advertisement, going back to the Bedroom Candy thing. I will be reaching out to Candy Birds pretty soon. And we're going to make sure we get something going from there. But, again, the money's going to come. You just got to maintain the passion. You got to maintain the vision.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't do that, then, and your whole motivation is money, again, you fail every day. Every dollar that you don't make is a failure.
There's that, all right, and I brought this up before too, that meme or whatever it was, where there's the 2 guys going in the cave after the diamonds, and then the one stops right before he makes it to the diamonds and turns around because he's been digging for so long.
Right.
And then the other guy keeps going and gets the diamonds.
Gets to him, yep.
That's the whole, like, that picture stays in my head the
That's
entire
the whole move.
time.
That's the whole move.
Right. So where do you see all of this going?
Ultimately, I want to be one of the top independent media outlets. From just a personal place, I do want to move on to traditional television. I want to produce I want to produce a sitcom. I want to produce documentaries. I want to really get things going. But the Beat brand is going to be a part of all of it because eventually Beat is going to become a production company as well.
You want to create.
Exactly. I just want to keep creating, honestly. Yeah. I want to dominate social media. I want to dominate streaming. I just want to get us as exposed as possible.
You will.
Definitely.
And you can.
Definitely.
And it's going to happen. And I can't wait. because I want to host a documentary. But no, real talk though, you absolutely will. The reason being is because you have a heart for people.
Yes.
And when you have a heart for people, success follows.
Right.
And I know this to be so because Mr. David McCovey, shout out to David, he is the founder of Evolution Travel. And the reason why I bring him up is because David is young. He's a young black male, still wears his cornrows. He don't dress in suits all the time. He's a real person, but he has a heart for people. And that is what made him a self-made millionaire. He worked it out. He has been an entrepreneur for a long time. He had a lot of no's. He had to knock down a lot of doors. He had to figure a lot of things out. And after he did that, he was like, okay, now I see what works. I got to make sure my people feel appreciated. I got to make sure my people feel loved because I remember what it was like when I was not feeling appreciated and when I wasn't feeling like all my hard work wasn't going to shit. And the fact that you just have a heart for people. You just naturally have that gift. And then you're connected to a woman that has an amazing spirit. And so when you have that type of woman behind you, and then you also have what you have, you can and you will. And then even with Lex. Now, Lex knows I push her on purpose because the girl's dope. You all only get to see a little bit of Lex on this show.
They're gonna see more of it
now. Like, just get ready.
And her daughter, the one that exists.
Right, the one that exists, the secret baby, the love child.
Oh, damn it!
But do know that truth told you first. That Lex is an absolute amazing creative, and I can't wait to see her take off. And then for myself, I talk a lot anyway. So y'all know me already. Yeah. Just know that I support everything my people do.
Same.
And I pay attention to who supports them and who supports me.
Yeah.
And regardless of whether y'all like or share, we're going to win anyway. That wasn't like a threat. It was just like, it is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. We appreciate those of you who do rock with us.
Yes.
And when we talk about the noise, those of you that actually go find the noise and listen to it, or those of you that go find Back to the Classics and you listen to it, we appreciate you guys even more because now you're supporting the full vision.
Yes.
And so that matters. Like, we don't just talk about, plug in the shows a little bit just for shits and giggles. We do it because we want you guys to also see what else is out there because you're listening to our show. But guess what? You may like reality TV a little bit better. You may like Back to the Classics a little bit better. Or the noise may be for you. Or you may know somebody who would like that more than they like Water for Chocolate. Like, we have a variety here.
Right.
Like a bomb-ass cheese plate with the meat and the crackers and the honey and the mustard, all of that. So it's definitely right. It's a variety around here. So, yeah. I just wanted to put my disclaimer out there because I was a little quiet today.
Like I said,
I think you were good. What are you talking about?
Like, once everything got going beat, I just wanted to make sure everyone was represented. Especially when you brought KC to me and you were telling me she's in a she's married to a woman, everything like that. I'm like, okay, cool, that covers that demographic. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there's no one everyone is somehow relatable to what we're doing here. You know, even with Back to the Classics, that's. Like, you have to be a real movie buff.
And there's so many out
exactly.
there.
You know, that attracts more than just black people at that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And trust me, I like all colors of dollars. So y'all can all come through, Right. But I feel like we cater to everybody. There's literally something for everyone here at Beat.
This is true facts. Well, boss man, we appreciate you.
Appreciate you having me.
Coming on. This was a dope episode. I can't wait to listen to it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I got bits and pieces, but I appreciate you.
We'll do it again, too, because there's more coming. And
for sure.
There will be more to talk about.
Yeah, I'll be
next season, he'll be telling us a lot more.
All kinds of stuff.
Of what's already happened.
Might have a fro. I mean, you never know.
Nah, see, this is done. This is over with from here.
I just pictured that when you said it. Right?
This it doesn't, because just right here.
It was the picture of the hard work. Okay, it's going to be a beard, a long beard.
If anything, I may Ross it out.
Okay.
But as far as the hair, I'm not about to come in here looking like Sherman Hemsley. I can tell you that right now. I can't do it. Can't do it.
I'm good.
But yes, I appreciate you ladies for having me on the show.
We appreciate you. We would not be
here like a regular.
You.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You got to be on here. It just works. It flows.
Cool.
All right. Well, let the people know where they can find you and everything that you got going.
Yep. At Big Los UTC on Twitter. You can also find me Big Los IG, created by Miss Jackson. If you can follow us at The Noize Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. This month is Black Podcast Month. Check us out. We're going to be doing a special Tuesday episode about the Super Bowl. It's going to be a really interesting conversation.
Go Eagles.
I just want to watch. I just want to watch the
All
game
right.
since my Steelers got fucked out of it. But that's whatever the case.
Yeah.
But gonna be an interesting conversation about the Super Bowl. I actually really look forward to getting Twice and Oaks thoughts about it because I know they're definitely on the revolutionary side.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So I just want, it's gonna be a really good conversation. Lemon Shade Podcast after that, Melanin Boulevard after that, Sophisticated Ignorance after that. All great people. Definitely check them out as well. If I haven't said it, I think I did. At the Noize Podcast, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and of course at Beat Network on Instagram, at Beat_Network on Twitter, and Facebook.com/Beat Network 1.
Whoop.
Whoop, whoop. So y'all can't say y'all didn't know what was going on because there is a platform for everybody for you guys to be able to find it.
Right.
And then you guys, in case you didn't know, Like Water for Chocolate has an Instagram page now, and it's actually pretty fun and interesting.
It's
really
I
dope.
love it.
And with that, it's LWFC Podcast, but there's an underscore under each letter of LWF and C, and then podcast. But yeah, we try to keep it abbreviated because Like Water for Chocolate just wouldn't fit. So our hashtag from here on out is going to be LWFC Podcast. So that way, if you guys just search for that hashtag, you should be able to find us on all streams.
That's right. And on Snapchat, which
Yes.
we need to get going like big time.
That means we got to hang out more.
Damn it.
We can start it tonight. We can start it tonight.
We sure can, yeah.
And she's saying, "Oh, damn it," but she just texted me. She missed me.
I
y'all.
did. But it's Beats LWFC on Snapchat.
All right, you guys. Well, it's been real. It's your girl, Truth.
Lex Love.
And we'll see y'all next time.